Good morning. Welcome to our service this morning. Happy 4th of July. And I know that Mr. Hager's going to show you what's still at the ceiling at the end of the service. So be aware of that. What I'm going to talk about today is love stories. Now, one of the greatest love stories was Cinderella. Does anybody remember Cinderella? Remember, she showed up at the castle and the prince saw her, and she was the loveliest woman in the whole place. Everybody go, "Ah." But then when midnight struck, she realized all of a sudden her clothes changed. She became a dirty rag woman again. Everything fell off except one thing. Her shoe she lost, and it was a glass slipper. So I want everybody to take off your shoe. And the prince decided he had to find her. So he went all throughout the entire kingdom. And then one day, he did find her, and the glass slipper fit her foot. So now you can put your shoe back on again. And they decided to marry and live happily ever after. And everybody yelled, "Hooray!" Hooray! Now, that wasn't the only love story we can talk about. Remember, we've been talking about Abraham and Isaac and Sarah and that family for about the last 4 weeks. Now, I want you to say the word Abraham. Say Isaac. And then you're going to add a new word, Rebecca. All right. Now, what has happened is, when we saw Isaac last, he was up on the top of a mountain with his father. Remember the whole idea with the sacrifice and the sheep and so on. But now it's time for Isaac to get married. Now, Abraham he didn't want Isaac to leave the country. So he decided he would send off a servant to go find a wife for Isaac. So what are we all going to say? Go find a wife. Did I hear you? Go find a wife. So off goes the servant. And you have to make the sound because the servant is going off as he travels the country. Now, of course, he didn't have any idea what kind of person he was supposed to be getting. So he kept thinking, God, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? And finally it came to him. He saw a well. And he thought to himself, I wonder if somebody comes up to that well and takes a drink of water and offers it to me and then gives it to the camels, that person would be perfect. Well, sure enough, talking about water. Can you all do water? Okay. Sure enough, the young woman comes up. She dips into the well. She offers the servant some water. And then she says, I will give your camels water too. Now, he had 10 camels and a bunch of other stuff. So they went ahead, and he said, oh my gosh, this person is just perfect. So he asked if he could go home with her and meet the family. So she said, okay. And they went home and met his brother, her brother, Laban. Now, Laban sees this guy show up with 10 camels and a bunch of stuff. And he was thrilled. And of course, the servant said, you are being asked to come to meet Isaac. And of course, they knew that this was pretty important. So she decided, okay. And everybody said, all right, we'll go. Now, they headed off back. We got to get them going. Here, Brian, we have to get them going. As they look out in the distance, Rebekah sees Isaac. That's a good one. And Isaac sees Rebekah. And there is a moment of, wow. Everybody say, wow. And it was love at first sight. And so they decided they would get married. Now, how would you think if you were happy about that? What would you do? Everybody give me a big smile. And then you will know that they lived happily ever after, so you need to applaud. And dear God, we thank you for this opportunity, for you to give us your trust, to help us know that when you set things in motion, things begin to happen. And the story of Abraham and Sarah and Rebekah and Isaac is one that you really need to keep looking at, because it's full of all kinds of stories that make life interesting. So thank you, God, for all of this. Thank you for our birthday today, and amen.